when something that tragic happens to you, you have a connection to that for the rest of your life. And I will never forget the group of children that I was with, where I was at, when I found out, what I found out, and how I found out. I don't think that will ever be forgotten. It's forever burned in my brain. And I don't think you can ever be prepared for something like that to happen. But every time that I do talk about it, I know that it does evoke emotion in me and make me feel passionate, and it makes me feel also a sense of pride for our country and what we do in the United States.
Where were you 10 years ago?
Where was I 10 years ago? Well, I was right here at Cottonwood Creek. It was a school day. It was on a Tuesday, and so I was here at Cottonwood Creek.
Where were you at the time?
At the time that the first plane hit the first tower, I was driving myself to school, to Coppola High School, and I was listening to KISS FM on the radio, and they received a phone call and they were watching the news, and so that's where I was. I was in the car on the way to school.
Where were you when this happened?
I was sitting in my classroom in B107. I was teaching 3rd grade, and I was reading to my kids, and I was sitting on the chair right over there, and I was sitting up here doing read aloud, and our counselor came in and told me in my ear that the World Trade Center, that the Twin Towers had been hit. And so it was pretty shocking, very shocking.
How did you feel watching those buildings collapse live?
Actually, I was teaching that day, and so I only got to see them after the school day was over. But when I saw them, it made me feel so sad.
What did it look like up close?
It was very sad. It was very loud. There was things flying everywhere. When the towers started falling, that was when people just started gasping because they couldn't believe what they were seeing.
It was unthinkable that anything would happen in America like that. It had never been like that before. And so after the attacks, everybody was worried. We didn't know if there was going to be more attacks. We didn't really know if we should be scared to go to big buildings or to go to big cities.
How do you feel about 9/11?
As the principal of the school, I had to make sure that the children were safe here at our school. So that was very, very interesting for me, and our teachers had to make sure that the kids were safe. And so, you know, I didn't really think too much about it on that day because I was so focused on making sure that the boys and girls were safe here at school. But you know what? My heart really goes out to those families that lost loved ones that day. A lot of Americans were killed, and a lot of brave Americans, a lot of firefighters and police officers and airline pilots and things like that really worked so hard to protect us. And then just families, fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters and dads, and so it's very heartbreaking. But I was very proud of the different kinds of tributes that were made yesterday, and I can't wait to go back to New York and go back to Ground Zero. I've been there before, but it was before they had the memorials there. So that next time I think I go in January back to New York. So I can't wait to maybe go over to Ground Zero and see the memorials. I think that's going to be really, really neat. So I look forward to that.
That's it.